Hello, my beautiful friend, and welcome to Heaven of the Heart. This is your safe space to pause, breathe, and find strength again. Here, we talk about self-care, love, and the gentle power that lives within every woman. I'm so glad you're here with me today. Let's begin.
Have you ever been sitting next to someone you love, yet felt like you were 1,000 miles away? You laugh together less, conversations turn shallow or disappear. The comfort that once felt so natural now feels like a quiet, heavy weight in the room. This is what I call the third partner, loneliness. It doesn't storm in like betrayal or explode like anger. It tiptoes in silently, settling between two people until you almost believe it belongs there. And here's the painful truth. Loneliness inside a relationship often cuts deeper than infidelity. Why? Because when someone cheats, at least you see the betrayal clearly. But when someone drifts away emotionally, you're left questioning yourself, wondering if you are no longer lovable, if you've become invisible in your own love story. Today, we're going to explore this shadow. We'll talk about how emotional distance grows, why it's so destructive, and most importantly, how you can recognize it early and protect your heart. If you've ever stayed awake at night looking at the person beside you, feeling like strangers, this conversation is for you. You are not crazy for noticing the silence. You are not too sensitive for craving real connection. And you are not alone in this pain. Let's sit together for a while. Let's breathe into the truth of what loneliness inside love feels like. And let's begin to learn not only how to survive it, but how to rise stronger with a heart that remembers its worth. Loneliness inside a relationship is one of the most silent but powerful destroyers of love. It rarely begins with a dramatic fight. It doesn't usually start with someone shouting or slamming a door. Instead, it creeps in quietly, like a fog rolling over a field at dawn. At first, you don't even notice it. A skipped conversation here, a distracted silence there. Your partner is physically present, but emotionally, something feels missing. The laughter that used to come easily now feels forced. The long talks before bed are replaced with scrolling on a phone. And without realizing it, the warmth between you begins to cool. How loneliness sneaks in. Loneliness often enters relationships not through betrayal, but through neglect. Neglect of attention, neglect of presence, neglect of the small daily gestures that keep intimacy alive. You might remember the days when you both couldn't stop talking, when even the most ordinary story from work felt exciting to share. But over time, life piles up. Stress from careers, bills, children, or simply the routine of everyday life can make love slide into autopilot. And here's the danger. When we stop nurturing connection, silence doesn't feel like peace anymore. It feels like distance. Why emotional distance hurts more than infidelity. Many people say, I could forgive cheating, but not neglect. Why is that? Because cheating is an event, clear, undeniable, but emotional abandonment is a slow erosion of the soul. When someone cheats, they betray your trust. But when someone stops seeing you, when they stop listening, stop caring, they betray your very existence. It feels like being erased while still alive. You lie beside them, but you might as well be lying alone. That emptiness is sharper than the sting of infidelity. The stories we tell ourselves. When loneliness shows up, our minds start creating painful stories. He doesn't love me anymore. I'm not interesting enough. Maybe I did something wrong. Maybe if I lose weight, work harder, smile more, she'll notice me again. We internalize their distance as a reflection of our worth, and slowly, piece by piece, we begin to shrink inside the relationship. But the truth is, loneliness is not always proof of your failure. It is often proof of disconnection, a gap that requires both hearts to show up, not just yours. Recognizing the warning signs. So how do you know if loneliness has become the third partner in your love story? Look for these signs. You feel more at ease sharing your heart with strangers or friends than with your partner. Conversations feel transactional. What's for dinner? Did you pay the bill? But rarely emotional. Physical closeness still happens, but without tenderness or intimacy. You stop sharing your dreams or fears because you don't believe they will listen. You catch yourself daydreaming about a version of the relationship where you are truly seen. These are not small things. They are signals. Signals that your emotional connection is starving. Why we stay silent? Many of us notice the distance, but instead of addressing it, we bury it. We tell ourselves, it's just a phase. I shouldn't nag. At least they're not cheating. But silence only feeds the loneliness. And the longer we avoid the conversation, the harder it becomes to bridge the gap. Loneliness thrives in unspoken words. And the only way to heal is to bring those words into the light. The courage to speak. Speaking about loneliness inside a relationship can feel terrifying. You worry, what if I sound needy? What if they dismiss me? What if admitting my loneliness pushes them even further away? But here is the paradox. Avoiding the conversation almost guarantees the distance will grow. Facing it, even if it's uncomfortable, is the only path toward healing. Start gently. I miss you. I feel like we've drifted apart, and I want to find our way back. I love being with you, but lately I feel more alone than together. Notice the difference between blaming and sharing your feelings. It's not, you never talk to me anymore. It's, I feel lonely when we don't connect. When spoken with honesty and love, these words can open doors. Choosing yourself in the silence. But what if your partner doesn't respond? What if they shrug, dismiss, or avoid the truth? This is where the hardest lesson comes. You cannot heal a relationship alone. Connection requires two people reaching out, not one person stretching until they break. If your partner refuses to meet you halfway, you must ask yourself, do I want to live with this silence forever? Choosing yourself is not selfish. It is survival, because no amount of staying will fix the ache of being unseen. Healing starts within. Even before your partner responds, you can begin healing your own heart. Reconnect with yourself. Journal your feelings instead of silencing them. Surround yourself with people who see and hear you. Engage in activities that bring you joy and remind you of who you are. Loneliness inside of love is dangerous because it convinces you that you are unlovable. But the more you nurture yourself, the more you reclaim your worth, with or without their attention. Rebuilding together, if they choose to. Small, consistent steps can rebuild intimacy. Setting aside daily check-ins, even 5 minutes of honest talk. Creating shared rituals, coffee together in the morning, a walk after dinner. Learning to listen without fixing. Touching more, not just physically, but emotionally with presence. Healing is not about grand gestures. It's about daily choices to return to each other. The bigger truth. At the end of the day, loneliness as a third partner is a mirror. It reflects not just the cracks in your relationship, but also the places where you've abandoned yourself. When you learn to see it, you have two choices: to fight for reconnection together, or to honor your own heart enough to walk away. Either way, the lesson is the same. You are worthy of being loved fully, seen deeply, and held with presence. No one deserves to feel invisible in the arms of the person they love. If you are listening right now and these words feel like your story, take a deep breath. You are not alone. This pain is real, but so is your strength. Healing begins the moment you stop pretending you're okay and start honoring what your heart already knows. Take a moment to breathe. Think about your own relationship, past or present. Where has loneliness shown up in your love story? Maybe it was the quiet dinners where words barely passed between you. Maybe it was lying in bed together but scrolling on two separate phones. Or maybe it was that ache in your chest when you realized you share a life, a home, maybe even children, but your souls stop sharing each other. This is not just about romance. It's about something deeper, the human need to be seen. Every one of us craves acknowledgement. A simple, "How was your day?" asked with genuine curiosity. A hand reaching for ours just because. A partner looking into our eyes and actually being present. Without these, love starts to feel like a performance. You go through the motions, eat together, sleep together, maybe even laugh sometimes, but underneath, your heart whispers, "I'm alone here." The danger of this kind of loneliness is that it doesn't scream. It doesn't force you to notice it right away. It grows slowly, quietly, until one day you look in the mirror and realize you've been carrying emptiness like a second skin. But here's something important to reflect on. Loneliness is not always proof that love is gone. Sometimes it's a signal, a call for attention, for nurturing, for change. So instead of asking only, "Does my partner love me?" ask, "Am I truly showing up for myself?" Because often the loneliness we feel in relationships mirrors the loneliness we carry within. When we lose touch with ourselves, we lose the ability to connect with others deeply. Think about the times when you felt most alive. What were you doing? Who were you with? Chances are it wasn't just about someone else giving you love, it was also about you being fully present with your own joy. Relationships are like gardens. If both people water the soil, flowers bloom. If one waters and the other neglects, the plants wilt. And if both stop, the garden becomes dry and lifeless. So pause here. Ask yourself, am I watering my own garden? Am I asking for the love I need, or am I burying my silence? Am I accepting loneliness as my normal when my soul is crying for more? Reflection is not about blame. It's about truth. And the truth is, you deserve love that feels alive, not just love that survives. If loneliness has become your third partner, it's time to step back and see what it's teaching you. Is it urging you to reach out and rebuild? Or is it gently preparing you to walk away and choose yourself? Only your heart can answer that. But your heart always knows. And deep down, if you listen carefully, it has been whispering to you all along. If you take only one thing with you today, let it be this. Your worth is not measured by how much attention your partner gives you. Your worth is not reduced by the silence in your relationship, and your value is not something anyone can erase by drifting away. You are whole. You are enough, and you deserve to be cherished in ways that make you feel alive. Too often, loneliness tricks us into believing that we are the problem. That if we were prettier, smarter, funnier, calmer, or less demanding, our partner would stay close, would love harder, would never turn away. But those are lies loneliness whispers to keep you small. Your value does not rise and fall with someone else's ability to see you. Even if they look past you, even if they choose work, distraction, or distance over you, your light is not dimmed. Remember this: the way someone treats you reflects who they are, not who you are. A partner's neglect says nothing about your worthiness. It only reveals their own capacity, or lack of capacity, to love deeply. You are not here to beg for scraps of affection. You are not here to shrink so someone else can feel bigger. You are not here to carry the entire weight of connection on your own shoulders. You are here to love and be loved fully, to feel seen, heard, valued, and safe. And if someone cannot meet you there, it is not proof that you are unlovable. It is proof that you are meant for more. Stand tall in that truth. Your heart is too precious to waste in silence. Your dreams are too bright to bury under neglect. Your soul is too alive to settle for being invisible. So, if you are listening to this right now with tears in your eyes, let me remind you gently. You matter. Your feelings are valid, and you do not need to prove your worth to earn love. Healthy love is never earned by suffering. It is not built on begging. It does not thrive in silence. Healthy love is a natural flow, two people choosing each other, over and over again. Until you find that, anchor yourself in the truth that you are already enough. Fill your own cup with kindness, with joy, with purpose, because the more you remember your worth, the less you will tolerate the kind of love that starves you. And one day, whether with the partner beside you or someone new, you will know what it feels like to be seen again, to be loved without shrinking, to be held without begging. And when that day comes, you will look back at this chapter of loneliness and realize it was never proof that you were unworthy. It was simply the reminder you needed to never forget who you are. If loneliness has been sitting quietly in your love story, I want you to know there is no shame in naming it. Silence may have crept between you and the one you love, but silence does not have to be the final chapter. Sometimes healing means reaching across the gap and choosing to reconnect. Sometimes healing means choosing yourself and walking away from what no longer nourishes your soul. Either way, healing begins when you stop pretending you're okay and start honoring the truth your heart has been whispering all along. You are not invisible. You are not too much. And you are not alone in this journey. So tonight, as you close your eyes, hold on to this thought. You deserve love that feels like home, not love that feels like absence. Thank you for sharing this space with me, for trusting me with the tender corners of your heart. If today's words resonated with you, stay with me here. This is a safe place for healing and growth. And remember, your worth has never depended on anyone else's ability to see it. It has always lived within you. Until next time, take care of your heart. It's the only one you'll ever have, and it deserves to be held gently always.
Thank you for spending this time with me on Heaven of the Heart. Remember, you are worthy of care, love, and happiness every single day. If today's message touched your heart, please share it with another woman who needs this reminder too. Until next time, take care of your body, your mind, and your soul. And never forget, beauty has no age, and your heart is your true home.